They came without warning. The sky tore open as the Empire's fleet descended through the stratosphere, their vessels cutting across the night like burning monoliths. From orbit, their dreadnoughts cast shadows so vast that entire cities fell beneath them. The Empire's message bled across every surviving communication network in 1,000 alien tongues. People of Earth, your world is defenseless. Your armies are ash. Your oceans burn. Submit, and your extinction shall be merciful. In the silence that followed, the skies wept fire. The Empire had arrived to claim what was left of humanity, a species that had once dared to challenge the stars. For decades, the Galactic Dominion had believed Earth shattered beyond repair after the last orbital bombardment. Cities lay in ruins. Satellites burned. The great fleets of the Terran Navy had vanished beyond the Kuiper Belt, leaving only whispers of ghost ships drifting among the dark. But deep beneath the oceans, buried under centuries of rock and pressure, something ancient stirred. Admiral Sarah Kane stood within the command chamber of Facility Abyss, a fortress hidden below the Mariana Trench. Around her, engineers and officers worked in tense silence as red lights flickered through the hall. The Empire's main formation has entered low orbit, Commander Nathan Rowe reported, his voice calm but strained. 72 capital ships. They're charging their atmospheric lances. Sarah's reflection stared back at her from the holomap, tired eyes, steel-gray hair, and a gaze that carried the weight of humanity's last century of pain. And the Titan network, sealed, dormant since the cataclysm. Activation protocols require. I know what they require, she interrupted. Authorization code, Prometheus 0. The command deck fell silent. Every officer turned. The code had not been spoken aloud in over 100 years. Nathan hesitated. Admiral, if we do this, there's no turning back. The Titans were never tested under real combat. The power signatures alone could be what saves us, Sarah said. If Earth truly is defenseless, then it's time we remind the galaxy what humanity buries when it bleeds. Miles above, the Empire's lead ship Tyrannus loomed, a behemoth of obsidian metal and pulsing red light. High Archlord Verith observed the blue planet below with amusement. So this is the cradle of humankind, he murmured, a relic of mud and salt. It should feel honored to die beneath our gaze. An officer bowed. Our scans confirm minimal power signatures. No orbital defenses detected. The planet's energy grid is fractured beyond recovery. Verath smiled. Defenseless indeed. He raised a hand. Prepare the descent strike. Burn their oceans. Let this world become our warning to all who defy the Dominion. As the fleet's massive lances began to glow, the sea below began to move, not waves, mountains. The surface of the Pacific rippled outward, splitting like fabric under a blade. And then something rose. The ocean exploded upward as a structure breached the surface, vast enough to blot out the dawn. Water cascaded from blackened armor plates the size of cities. Sensors aboard the Empire's ships went wild. Unidentified object. Emerging mass reading exceeds 6 billion tons. It's mechanical gods, it's moving. Out of the churning depths rose Titan 01, Leviathan, its armored frame glowing with dormant energy, long thought lost to myth. Its east-twin cores of molten gold ignited as the creature unfolded its limbs, each movement shaking the planet itself. And it was not alone. Across the globe, oceans split. From the Arctic, the Titan Borealis clawed its way through the ice, light pulsing from its chest in rhythmic waves. In the Atlantic, Titan Atlas rose from the seafloor, its shoulders bristling with rail cannon arrays. From the Indian Ocean, Titan Aegir awoke, sending tremors that cracked the continental shelf. Each one bore the mark of humanity's lost genius, a fusion of ancient Terran engineering and the forbidden alien technologies they had scavenged in desperation. From the depths of abyss, Sarah watched as seismic readings spiked across the map. Nathan's voice was a whisper. They're waking up. Sarah allowed herself a single breath, then let the galaxy tremble. The Empire's first volley struck. Atmospheric lances poured fire upon the Titans, each beam powerful enough to vaporize cities. But when the light cleared, the monsters of steel still stood. The Leviathan raised its arm, shimmering barriers unfolding like wings of liquid energy. The beams deflected harmlessly into the sky, burning holes through the clouds. Impossible, Verath hissed. No shielding system can withstand that level of power. But it was worse than impossible, it was human. The Titans began to move. The Leviathan lunged upward, breaking free of the ocean entirely. Gravity seemed to hesitate before its rise. Then, with a sound like thunder given form, it roared. The roar wasn't made of sound, it was a gravitational pulse, a shockwave that rippled through the fleet, bending space itself. Ships exploded without ever being struck, crushed beneath invisible pressure. From orbit, the other Titans answered. Borealis unleashed beams of pure plasma from its armor rays, slicing through cruisers as though they were made of glass. Atlas raised its massive arms, the rail cannons along its shoulders firing hyperdense slugs that shattered shields and hulls alike. Aegir extended its arms toward the atmosphere, drawing moisture and metal alike, then unleashed a tempest of ionized water and debris that tore ships apart. Earth's oceans burned. The sky was aflame, and yet for the first time in a century the planet fought back. Vareth stumbled as his flagship buckled beneath him. How are they doing this? Those machines, no species could build such monstrosities. An officer screamed from the pit below. High Arch, we're detecting energy cores powered by human biosig. Vareth froze. You mean they fused themselves with the Titans? The truth settled like poison. Humanity had not merely built these weapons, they had become them. The pilots, long-lost soldiers from the final war, had linked their consciousness to the machines. Their minds were the processors, their hearts the reactors. In her command seat, deep beneath the Mariana Trench, Sarah Kane felt her pulse sync with Leviathan's. Her voice echoed through every Titan as she opened a channel across all frequencies. This is Admiral Kane of Earth Command. The Empire declared us defenseless. She paused, letting the Titans' eyes blaze across the horizon. They were wrong. The Titans moved as one. Leviathan's claws ripped through the terrain, tearing its hull apart in a blaze of molten fragments. Atlas crushed a battleship in its grip and hurled it into another, detonating both. Borealis and Aegir unleashed, synchronized beams that cleaved the enemy's orbital ring clean in half. For the first time in history, the Empire's armada screamed not in triumph, but in terror. Retreat, Vareth shouted, as his dying fleet scattered into hyperspace. Retreat and regroup, but it was too late. Leviathan's chest opened, revealing a brilliant core pulsing with the light of a dying star. Target, High Archlord's vessel, Sarah whispered. Confirmed, replied Nathan, his voice distant, fused within Aegir's systems. Execute. A beam of condensed stellar energy erupted from Leviathan's chest, spearing the Tyrannus through its heart. The ship disintegrated in silence, light-consuming shadow. When the brilliance faded, the Empire's fleet was gone. The silence that followed was not peace, it was our. In the weeks that followed, the galaxy whispered of Earth's awakening. Refugee fleets from oppressed worlds carried tales of Titans rising from the deep, of machines so vast they could tear moons apart. The Empire denied the reports at first, then fell silent when their scouts failed to return. Within abyss, Sarah stood once more at the observation window, the ocean calm above. Nathan's voice came through her comlink. The Titans are stable, Admiral. The cores are holding, but their pilots, they're fading. Sarah closed her eyes. She knew the fusion process between human and machine was never meant to last. Let them rest, she said softly. They've done their duty. As she turned away, the sea outside shimmered faintly. Beneath the waves, Leviathan's eyes glowed one last time, dim, then still. Across the galaxy, empires shivered at the thought that somewhere, beneath their feet, humanity might still be building, still waiting, still ready to rise again. For they had learned one thing from that day: Earth was never defenseless, it merely slept, and when it woke, it brought Titans.